I wrote an article for the first time in 2 months called a long article called the biggest lie you believe. And it was all about that we're more than our body. And from various angles, scientific, spiritual, psychedelic.
Ooh, maybe it can be a book.
Yeah,
Maybe
well, anyway,
it can be a documentary.
Yeah, could be many things. But what I realized then first of all, then I couldn't sleep the night, and then the next day there was like, I don't know, there was locked in my system, in my body. And then I had a friend who I started working with, over a girl, and we sat with that, and I'm like, okay, I need to come back here. I'm not here. And then later on I had a call with Lisa, my coach. It was like a group set up, and we ended up speaking. And she said, like, because I was sharing that I was not in, I feel like I need to go through a door and I haven't gone through it. And she said, like, what I see is that you're incongruent. Like, you talk about these high level things to the world, etc. But look at your family. You don't have any, it's a mess. Like, as in, the relationships are not healthy. And so she said, like, and exactly that messiness is actually what's going on in the world. And but you cannot help people, you're preaching, etc., but you haven't done the work yourself. I mean, I have done a lot of work, and she knows that, but it hasn't been completed, so you're not. And so she said, what I see is start bringing joy to your family, start asking them what they need, get out of the victim. And I'm intellectually, in the head, I'm not a victim anymore, but on other levels I realize it's still there. So I was like, fuck, okay. And she said, like, and observe, once you start doing this work fully, everything else will unfold, because that's the story that's your story, and that's the story of humanity in a way. So I was like, okay, so this is where I'm at.
Okay.
So I feel like just sending the next article, I feel like sending it like I screwed up or I fucked up.
I do believe that any worth, I don't like the word preacher, but teacher would be a huge liar if they said it was a smooth path where they didn't have to go a few steps backwards to again go forward. Because we are living a human experience, and the human experience comes with flaws as a default package. We're supposed to mess up. We're supposed to start over again. We're supposed to question our spirituality so that once it's not questioned, we know we're going forward. Even if you are a theology student, you will see that all great preachers questioned their faith at some point. That's part of it. And part of them would say, I messed up because I thought it was this way, but then it was that way. And now I understand that it wasn't so black and white. It's part of it.
Yeah, I'm not, I didn't believe it wasn't. I'm just like, it's because I worked on the exact topic with her when we started working 2 years ago. Starting to call my parents, telling them that I love them, asking them what they need. And yet here I am again, same place, 2 years later, with so much lessons in between, so much learning, so much growth, but yet.
But it changes, because exactly 7 years ago, I went through a lot of the exact same things I've had to go through this year, which it was like, it's freaky how similar all these obstacles are coming. Maybe not in the same order, but the same exact places and situations. But I handled all of them, I do believe, a little more gracefully this time, or
Yeah.
with a different outcome, or with a different, or it affected me less than it affected me last time. So it's a situation where sometimes we have to relearn the things, or not relearn, but to be taught that, okay, what happens if I throw this at you again? Ah, you caught it different. Good. You didn't let the ball hit you in the head. That means you're ready for your next level.
Yeah, that it feels I'm more, even though my system resists, my ego resists, I'm more at peace with it. I know I need to go through that gate. I know I can. I
And
know
maybe you know it's not that difficult, but you can go on the other side. Like maybe not that resistance of, oh, I already know I can do it. No, I know that it's going to go through a process, and not with that arrogance of maybe last time that, oh, piece of cake. No.
Oh, no, but last time it wasn't piece of cake. I was like so resistant when she said, I think this is what we need to work on based on, I was like, I don't want to do it. So there was huge, the resistance is there. I'm not saying it's a piece of cake. I just take a deep breath and I'm like, okay, I'm a soul. I know that now. I didn't know that back then. I know it now. I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've read enough. So chill, like brief.
And if I was able to go through everything that I went through before, not knowing everything I know now, one, plus now I know that it's not that terrible, no? And I come through on the other side, well, it should, through logic, be a simpler process this time.
Yeah, I'm just tired of this human. I mean, the other option, the other
Sorry,
option.
Vincent, this will be happening to you till the day you die. I
Yeah.
don't care how illuminated you are. You will continue having human situations in your life that you will have to revisit time and time.
Totally. I'm just this particular subject. But that's why I need to go through, because the resistance. But what the other option, of course, is, and I'm not considering it seriously, but of course it is an option, is like to say, fuck all of this. I'm not going to evolve in this life. I'm just going to take it easy now. I'm going to the beach and I'm just going to forget about everything. I'm going to take a holiday for the next 40 years.
I would say that's an option, but it isn't, because if you decide to, because it's your free will to do that, life will get impossible around you where you will end up doing it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I guess life will make it will put a lot of suffering in me if I don't.
I've learned to just flow with it, because when I go, no, the hell with it, this is too tough, and I don't do it, then things stop blocking my way, and it's like, okay, fine, yeah, I guess so. It is my mission, and I have to do my mission, and you guys are helping me. So by making it complicated so that I have no way as to go back on the path, I will go back on the path. But you are more than free to have as many of those moments that you want. Don't force yourself not to have those moments, because if you have those moments, that's perfectly fine too. You'll just know that the universe will put you back on path afterwards.
Yeah, I'm not really allowing myself to have fun. I'm like constantly in this.
And I really need you to do that. We've talked about that many times, that one is not fought with the other, and that I need you to remember that it doesn't matter how enlightened you are still living a human experience. So for that reason, you still need to live the human experience.
Yeah,
which means having fun.
Yeah, I think one of the things I need to let go is this, and I know it doesn't exist yet. I think there is a yearning of creating that stability, that setup, this arriving that we all want, but it's an illusion. So I believe, I'm going to not have fun because I first need to get this and this and this done. But of course, it's never ending.
And that fun gives us the energetic gasoline to be able to continue our work, because it's very draining to be constantly downloading or thinking or enlightening. Enlightenment is a very draining job because it has to go through our brain. So
Yeah,
it's very important that you need to know that you have to have those moments of fun. Now, when I say fun, make sure it's fun that doesn't affect your energy, but do have fun. What do I mean by that? When I go out with friends, if my friends are not in their best vibrational mode, sometimes it will bring me down or will drag me. No, when they're in victim mode and everything. So I have to make sure to be, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out with people who are just really wanting to have fun and not have a deep down therapy session with me, because if not, it wasn't fun. One. Two, alcohol. Excessive alcohol will bring your spirit down immediately because the vibration of alcohol is very heavy. So yes, have a few, but just make sure that you don't go overboard, because the alcohol will weigh your spirit down.
That's not an issue, for me.
But fun can be traveling with friends.
Yeah,
just
no, of
going
course, like I'm allowing not myself much joy for that, because I think I want to kind of go through this major topic, like this topic I just talked about. I think this is one stumbling block, and the other stumbling block being in service. Like I feel I'm being a little useless in life, and I need to, including making money again. It's like I need to be in service and make money again, and kind of move forward with this family topic. I think if I do that, then I will be feeling free to have fun again. But right now I feel like move these things forward, like.
But sometimes we just need 1 hour, 2 hours of, so I can see clear. That's all.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm going for my walks and I see friends, etc. It's not, but I'm not allowing myself much rest. I'm like, anyway.
But we can't. Yeah, no, I get it, but we need clarity. Well, going with the cards, what they're showing me very much, again, your favorite topic, which you are not a fan of, and it keeps coming up, and there it goes, but you will say you already did. Stop controlling the process.
Stop controlling.
Meaning you still have the mental, I want it to be perfect, and I need it to go this way, and sometimes it just has to be. I know you flow, but sometimes you flow in the direction that you want the water to flow.
Yeah, I'm not good at surrender yet, that's for sure.
So it keeps coming up. Yet it says that you have, I'll show you how it works, because the exact way it came out in the cards without even changing them. It said first, it says release.
Yeah.
And then this is you with all the knowledge. So if you release, you have the place for you to be blessed with all the source of life, the knowledge. And then through that comes your clarity and your awakening. And if you know, here she's back in control with this knowledge and awakening. This is releasing. It just is dumped on me, and now I control it. It's the other way. Then you're planting it. You're planting it like I control it, and then once I control it, I can share it the way I have to, and it's the other way around completely. We release the perfection so that we are a vessel of the information to share.
Yeah.
And yes, right now there's a sense of you have to live a little bit grounded. Grounded usually tends to be the human part. No, I need you to be a little grounded right now. Your doors will be opening. That is a fact, but you need grounding. And this grounding will permit you to see clearer. You are sharing to flawed humans. So you must be human to speak to flawed humans.
I need to be flawed to speak to flawed. Well, I am flawed, obviously, like, but I feel like my job is to move through my flaws remove them, not all of them, but like gradually, and then I can help others do the same. But I know how they feel because I used to be there, of course, but I need to make a progression, right? So I can help them with their progression.
And when we speak to flawed, we speak from one to one, not I have to be enlightened to be able to speak. Because if I'm enlightened to speak, I can't relate. But if I, through myself being here, I can be here at the same level. Humans or ego tends to want to be perfect so that people will look up to them. But sometimes it is necessary to look straight to someone, not up to someone. Because if I look up to someone, I tend to put them on a pedestal. And if I put them on a pedestal, it means if they fall from this pedestal, they are not perfect. And so thus they are not my teacher. Yet it is more of a teacher, someone who is in front of me and has the same flaws as I do, and is navigating the same things, but navigates them, as you said right now, as so. I am a soul. I navigate what you have, but I navigate as a soul, not as a emotional person.
Yeah, I think another thing is there's, or maybe it's not another thing, it's related. It's like I feel somehow, and this is also what Lisa pointed out, is like, you know, you're impotent in a sense of like you haven't healed these relationships, and that's why you are not full in your expression in the world. You're not out there, not because you've created like a blockage within yourself. I mean, that's also how it feels, and that's my frustration. I'm like, oh, I'm so powerful on one hand, and I'm gonna do all these amazing things, but here I am, and nothing. It's like,
My mom used to love this phrase that I had because she was always very in awe observing me on these things. And she'd say, how are your friends and how are the witches? Because I'd say, you know, my friends are witches. And I'd say to her, you know, all my witches have issues. And she says, I love that. Witches with issues. We all have issues. And it's just the way we work through them. And our issues are what gave us the opportunity to learn about healing and light and all of that. If we didn't have our issues, if Vincent would have been perfect and have perfect relationship with his parents, Vincent would not be sharing this process right now.
totally embrace my issues. I know, I mean, I feel there's a shift that I haven't made yet, and it's probably, I mean, my feeling is that she's right. I mean, there's definitely something around my family and intimacy and joy and love, and that's what I need to learn or express or embody. And when I do, then my interaction with people will be different, and that will be the
And
gift.
with intimacy and love comes acceptance, just as
Ask what.
we accept our brother, just as
Just
maybe
ask.
brother in his process of where he's not enlightened or near enlightenment, but I accept my brother, just as.
Why did my brother now came up?
Because sometimes we need to accept people in their process where they are. That does not mean at some point they will become towards a light, but not accept them. We're not love them through judgment.
Yeah, I don't think I'm judging him. I'm more, or maybe I
No,
do.
but sometimes we judge people when we're like, oh, if he just meditated, or if he just, this would be easier for that person. Maybe that person won't. And not because you are usually, and there is a saying in Mexico that in the house of the shoemaker, there's no shoes. Usually when someone lives their life in this way, your family won't, because that is their rebellion. Or your rebellion is to live in light. And so it is very difficult for family members to really embrace sometimes. And that can cause a sense of, oh, well, you don't respect what I do. I do respect it, I just don't understand it, and I don't want to understand it. Well, I understand. You know what I mean? And I know you could give your brother a lot more peace if he learned how to do what you do. But he's not there in his process,
Yeah,
and
and
he has free.
also, also it's
And
work.
it can be
It's work.
frustrating. And it's frustrating for one because it's very much like, for instance, my husband has terrible anxiety and depression. And he knows that what I do, and he understands what I do, but he doesn't do or understand. And he gets frustrated sometimes, and he's like, well, life isn't that easy. And on the other hand, I'm just thinking it would be so much easier if you just meditate. It is that easy. You know? And so I have to accept that he is where he is, and it's painful for me, but I'm not going to force him to enjoy or see the clarity of what it is that you and I receive our clarity for. And he just respects what I do, but he will never understand how easily things can slide off my back, or I will always be in forgiveness with other people. That for me is not, because I don't want to live carrying on to grudges. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it
it's
can
so
be
easy.
frustrating for you
It's so
not
easy
to
to
be able.
see. It's so easy to see in others. Actually,
Yes.
that's what I need to do. I need to step out of myself, and I need to look at myself objectively as not Vincent. As that's, I think, an exercise I need to start doing. Look at myself from outside.
Do you have a name that your parents used to call you when you were small?
Um, wow, wow, it's crazy that I have to think about it. Well, one was, I think that was me, or was that my brother? No, that was me, exactly. Mumi.
So Vincent is Vincent. Mumi is who you have to look at. And it's easier if you give it a name. So then you can differentiate in your mind, like, okay, Mumi is getting frustrated because mother is, and so then it's easier here to divide and not think you're like egotistical or schizophrenic or
Yeah,
no, like
that's,
one
that's
Vincent, the other Vincent. Like I have my higher self has her name. And so when I'm meditating, I call her and it's like, please, and my magic, her has her name. So when I'm going to work with magic, I call her. So it's easier for me to find her by her name. And you can even say, okay, who is getting frustrated? Vincent or Mumi? No, definitely Mumi. Okay. Why are you frustrated?
yeah, that's a good one. I like that. Also, what I'm now thinking is like when things come up, and this is what I really want to do. And I think in that sense, the article that I wrote is I am at a different stage now. Is like reminding myself, I am a soul. I'm here on a mission that is different than what my ego wants. So,
And your ego did choose being human, which is the.
well, it's always human.
I know, no, your soul has been in different places. So, no, your ego chose this time, or your soul chose this time to be human.
Yeah. No, I understand. Yeah. But what I mean is the ego, Vincent,
Yeah,
it's always human.
yeah,
It's,
definitely. So, the ego, since your soul chose to be human, ego is a part. Like I always told you, never fight or eliminate ego, work with. Because you did choose to be human, which comes with the package of ego. The problem is when we decide that we're going to overtake or control ego. We're still on ego's playing field. We chose to be human.
Mm. If I look at all the notes that I've taken over the last 8 years on, I don't even know why I'm taking notes, even if I spend the rest of my time reading.
You might read a book. I mean, write a book.
Yeah,
And life is the biggest lie. Question. So now, what would be the biggest lie?
no, this is still the biggest lie. It's true. I believe. Like, I just would articulate it differently. I would write the article different because it was. No, hold on. Okay, I see your question. No, I still think the humans. Well, actually, yeah, good question. The biggest lie is I think it is that we are much more than, and then there's a lie that we tell ourselves. That's another lie, which is the lie of, yeah, in a way, it is playing two different games. There's only one game, and there's only one Vincent also, and that's also what kind of tears me apart. Is there's like there's two Vincents. There's the ego that I try to get out, but it's the more I do, the more it kind of it really bunkers in. It's like you're not getting me out of here.
Remember that we are made out of positive and negative, yin yang. Soul needs ego, ego needs soul. One will never be balanced if one is bigger than the other. Because we are on human territory. But ego will be wonderful to help others with ego.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether this is because I'm far from that place, but when as a human, when we evolve, right, and do the inner work and go really higher frequency, right, at some point we dissolve the self and we're really in a place of oneness, and then there is no more ego, right?
But that's when we are not in ego, which means we are not in human form.
Oh, I mean, if you look at someone like Buddha, was he still in ego? No, right? I mean, I know it's far away, but I'm just saying, it's like,
Yes and no, because also Jesus had his ego moments, no? And he learned from them. And if we remember, Siddhartha was at the beginning a prince and left family. And I'm sure if you ask Siddhartha's children if Buddha was a perfect father.
I don't know. I'm not saying what he was, but when he was, and of course he had to pay a price, like leaving his family behind, disappointing people.
So my question is,
but he didn't do it. He didn't do it because it was easy, or so he did it because it was a higher calling, right? It wasn't egoic, that move. It was in service.
Yes and no, because it was also in service that I am hurting other people.
Well, everything, I guess, comes with a price. And for example, let's say I'm married and now I go full on the enlightenment path, and I need to leave my wife, and I'm hurting her because of that. But I didn't do it because I wanted to leave her and because it's easy to leave her. I mean, I have two friends going through these processes of separating, and with both wives having just given birth, like really not pretty situations.
My question is, why can you not be as enlightened as a human? Just a question, as a human is, without hurting others, and wait for that moment of being in oneness once you let go of this earthly body experience? Why must you hurry?
Well, I haven't thought about that yet, but my response would be that if I want to show others the paradise on earth, I have to be it, and so I have to be in that state where nothing can right. I mean, I'm talking from Buddha's perspective, not from Vincent.
No, I understand that.
And
Yet at that moment, maybe everyone that follows that is being egotistical because they're going, I'm just saying philosophically, going around looking to not suffer in this life, which
okay,
then
so
is egotistical.
what you're saying is what I hear is Buddha showed us the end of suffering, but it also meant the end of living in a way. Is that what you're saying? It's like, it's not. Well, I think Buddha showed us the end of the human journey, and now we know, and we can decide how far we go, but maybe, yeah, and maybe then it's needed other teachers that show us, okay, we can go, we don't need to go all the way. Like, I can, yeah, or maybe there's even, today I was sitting with this girl that I started working with, and like building stuff together, and she said, I had this vision of, whatever we're working on is like, it's beyond the language we currently use. There's like a new, because many things we cannot describe, and it's hard to describe in this language. And I was thinking, like, yes, as in, I don't know, I feel what there is something that is really, really big, and I have no understanding how it is going to look like. That's actually what I'm realizing now. I have no understanding. My mind tries to constantly think how to build all of this, but I have no understanding. And so, but she kind of mirrored that. She was, irrespective of my visions or my ideas, she was like, I feel like we're looking at the ceiling, but we're meant to go beyond the ceiling. We're looking up the ceiling like the Buddha, etc. And it's not about being bigger, but it's like, it's a new direction. It's a different dimension, a different shift. And it needs a new language. And I was like, wow, okay, now we're really talking really big things. And I have no idea. I cannot even have be relaxed with my parents. So like, I don't know. I feel just, I think, and maybe this is why we met and started working together, because she also has this, when she read my stuff about neoslife, like the stuff that I put together, she looked at it and it's like, oh my God, this is so amazing, even though obviously nothing is done. But she said, like, it resonated so strongly with her. So, and yeah, so we both feel there's this place, but it's kind of like, I don't, it's a bit like Interstellar. Have you watched Interstellar? Where there's just other dimensions. You cannot just walk there. There's like yeah, and so that's a beautiful vision. And yeah, still, it's not gonna happen tomorrow, but
But the thing is also to take people through the journey and not wait until you are enlightened. Buddha helped a lot of people while he was in his process.
yeah. Totally, I hear you, and that's also the goal. And the next month we're going to spend around articulating our offering, all of this stuff. And I think it's important to be conscious of where I am myself in the journey, and so to stay very here and like realize my own bullshit stories that I have about how enlightened or aware I am. Like, what are there any other, were these your messages or higher message or my messages?
Both. They just come through me. Remember that we are the vehicle.
Yeah, no, I know, but sometimes you share stuff that is kind of your
And the personal things were mine. That's why I said both. And others were given from above. Now you must remember that yes, you are the creator, but at the same time, your inner child needs to be helped to become the creator. These are exactly
I know. I mean, this is the topic of
Vincent.
Yeah.
This is Mumi.
Yeah.
And they came out at this moment. When you have them balanced, you can go forward, which is the goal in general. And we heal, and that is why there is so much work on healing inner child. When we heal child, we move forward in adulthood.
Yeah, I think that's actually, this is because both of us, her and me, we both have this focus on executives. We want to work, and I think, and so that also brings us together. That's another element. And
are you falling in love?
No, I think it's also better not, like I don't, but it's interesting because we have a lot, we connect really well, like yeah, but I
like when you say we would rather not in love is not something.
No,
love is
it's
not controlled.
No, but what I mean is like no, and I feel it's also better that it's no, because it creates confusion around, even though it would be beautiful as well, but I don't think that's, at least not for now, it's happening. I had situations in my past in my life where I was working with someone. Yeah, exactly. I was working with someone, then I fell in love in the process. But here it hasn't happened yet. And I think it's better if it doesn't happen, but who knows what happens.
This is me being just me completely catching you like a psychologist. You worded it by saying it hasn't happened yet. I have, what was it? You said, I prefer it to not be love. You're using a lot of words that seem mental, and I don't think you have checked in with your heart. Just
like what, because it's funny that you asked this, because today I was checking in with myself, because we have such deep conversation and we are very comfortable with each other. And I was like checking in with my resonance, and as I think, like I realized, like I really like her, she's great, but I don't feel like a pull.
Okay, just saying, because I caught you saying a few words that seemed like
my mind got in the way, but
not to go that way.
Yeah, who knows? Not for now.
It's not coming up either way. It's just I wanted to give you a heads up of what you're saying.
What is not coming up?
A heads up that your Freudian slips are coming up. So
hold on, but then I missed it. Well, like, what is the slip?
That the Freudian slips?
Yeah, what was it specifically?
No, that when you said I prefer not to, and I haven't fallen in love yet.
Yeah.
That was your words, not mine.
I know.
Yet.
And I think the reason is because, funnily, I was thinking about exactly that today as we were sitting here. I was like observing her as she was sharing, and I was like checking in with me how I feel.
No, that's why I said, but it wasn't the angel saying that she is, there's nothing up there, is what I'm saying, about love. If you're wondering, I wonder why she's asking me. It has nothing to do with there. Just
the angels for earlier this year were excited about love coming, and I don't know where
love is coming, but right now, for some reason, they don't want to answer if this is the person. I've asked in my head, and they haven't answered. So.
No, I think it's
either way. They haven't answered. They didn't say no. They didn't say yes.
I feel that I just feel we are very aligned on so many things. So I think it is a powerful union for what
which is wonderful. It can be a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be. Men and women can work together.
That's what I meant. I think it's a powerful union in some form. I can sense.
And twin flames can be twin flames without being love.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the heavens message like? What any I mean, my Lisa is right in a way, like I feel a little castrated. It's like,
because you like to be in control, my darling, and you hate when you're not in control.
yeah, my mind is, and actually that reminds me, it's so deeply entrenched, right? It's so, even with all the conversations, all this work, it's so me, it's really hard to pull off this. But now that, yeah, every time it comes up, and now you just brought it up, it's like, this is what every time when I'm in ceremonies gets shown to me. I'm in the head, I try to control, it's suffering. I let go, boom, it's love. And
why do you think you enjoy ceremonies with MD, with mushrooms or ayahuasca or that? You enjoy it because then you finally tell the mind to go fuck itself. That's the only reason why you do it that way and you don't do it any other way, because you could do it through breath work, but I'm sure you'd be going through the mental process. But you can do this, Vincent, without any of those.
Yeah, and this is why I'm learning Kriya now. So in 2 months, I will be able to get connected myself, hopefully.
But that's why it works so well for you, because it's the only way when your brain, you go.
Yeah, and I mean, that's also in other ceremonies, someone was telling me, like, he said, like, why are you in the mind? You're not even a mental person. I mean, I am super mental, but I'm not meant to be mental. I'm just playing. And this is obviously, it's driven by fear around failure, around money, all the stories, the mumi stories is keeping me in the mind. Mumi is keeping me in the
I
mind.
like the way you talk now.
Well, it's the inner child. Now we just have I just put a name on it now. You gave me.
Yeah, but now you can say, when Mumi gets scared, Mumi wants to make everything about numbers, control, etc. Vincent doesn't want to.
Mm.
You'll be okay. This is part of the process, because if you don't go through this crisis process, which is perfectly normal and expected, and anyone who's going through healing and enlightenment and all of these things, they go through this, I forget what it's called, but like when you're about to go on the other side, like detoxing, and this moment of in the middle of the healing, it would not be normal.
Yeah, there's also these topics around money, etc. For example, I'm here in Portugal, but I'm not resident here yet, and there's a resistance for me to be resident, because then I have to do all the administrative processes, file taxes, all of that, and my whole body is like, you have been able to delay it. It's good. Don't acquiesce to the government. But
imagine if you let it go, then your brain would have more time not to think about those.
Exactly. I think about it, so it comes up daily, because it also makes it hard to rent a place, and I'm like,
But imagine all the time spent thinking about it that just could have been done, and then off your mind.
I think I need to do a sit down with myself and look where my resistances are, and then just go to all these places.
And sometimes the resistance, stop trying to convince yourself that you're right.
Say it again. Sometimes the resistances
will want you to make sure you convince yourself they're right. Oh no, because government and money, and
Yeah,
it's
of course,
bad.
of course. The mind will
Good.
create all kinds of stories to confirm that this makes sense.
Exactly.
But it blocks. It's like it blocks and so much.
It blocks the energy, and it takes a lot of time for what's important.
Yes, there's moments when I remember that when I think about it, and I'm so where I just want to let go of all of it. I just want to give in, and I could, of course. But then I wake up in the morning and my mind says, yeah, but why would you do that? Doesn't make
I know.
it's so funny. I have, right? I mean, of course you see that every day, but I have this fight with myself and I can free myself, but I don't want to free myself. I mean, I want to, but I don't, right? It's a power in a way. It's a, my higher self says like, come on, do it.
You can do this, yeah.
And I've
No,
done
and you can
many
do
times
this.
in ayahuasca, it's like letting go, surrender, purge it. And my mind is, yeah, but I'm smarter than this. Let me.
That's why I told you, you don't never fight with ego. Ever, ever, ever. I've learned. The more I fight with ego, the more ego will put in its feet and kick it up until it gets what it wants. In my case, it's anxiety. So I always say, I acknowledge that you're very scared. I understand that you think we're going to be able to control it. I'm not going to control it. You want to be scared, we'll stay in scared as much as you want. But afterwards, I need to move on because if I say, no, I can control my feelings and I'm not feeling anxiety and blah, 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 that anxiety will go. You can do what? And it will always win. Always.
One other thing popped into my mind. I feel like I really feel there needs to be a place where I can receive people, like a physical place where I can host retreats. That is kind of my place. And a friend.
Start small and then go big.
Yeah.
Don't try to find the perfect place that's huge. Start small.
No,
Even
no,
if it's garden of someone's garden.
no, but I would like a place where someone can sleep, actually.
I know, but start small. Don't limit yourself. Don't resist because oh, it's not perfect and people can't sleep and da, da, da. Just start. It will evolve alone. If you just start, everything will fall into place. I promise you that. Don't wait for perfection.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the same time, I feel this work with my family is like and this resistance around money, like these I need to do these works because I cannot.
It's okay, whatever you need to do, but I just need you to stop looking for the perfect place and this is where and blah, 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 blah. Just start. Once you fix your whole thing in your situation and just start.
Yeah, maybe I just don't need to figure it out all out. I just do one, just as you say, do. And also, I mean, I'm stating so much obvious things, but it's like, and you know, it won't be exactly as you say, it won't be perfect. It won't, we will make mistakes. It will, it's fine.
Neither Buddha nor Jesus had a temple or monastery that was perfect. They just sat on the ground with their disciples and talked and did.
Yeah, so maybe I don't, that's a powerful, thank you. Yeah, maybe I need to forget about all the place. I can also come to people. I don't need to, I can go to people, like whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's all excuses.
Here we go.
All excuses. Stop thinking, just go. Anything else?
I'm not going to say what I always say, so just.
You're proud. I look at all, I don't know what's to be. I mean, the only thing I think I can be proud of that I'm not giving up. I keep pushing, but I need to this shift that is needed is I'm keep banging my head against this wall, and you can say, I'm proud of you that you still bang your head against the wall, but you need to kind of
We're
turn a
going to
little.
say it today because you're going to get it from your mom as soon as you make peace with your mom.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, now actually, as I'm feeling into this, it is literally what I had in this experience with 5-MeO, where I was fighting, and then I couldn't take it anymore and just let go. My whole body relaxed, and then one day I hope we can smoke it together, fight your condition, etc. Because or maybe you have experience, but it was so, everything was love. For everything was love. Like, right, I told you, right, like the whole universe was love. And my love, or not my, but the love I was in, that I was part of, that whatever was bigger than the universe. It enveloped the whole universe. And I was like, oh my. And I recently experienced it again, because now that as my consciousness is evolving, my experiences, I spend a lot less time in darkness. I go straight to the higher realms. And so we're gonna bring a group to do this 5-MeO, hopefully next month or maybe a month after. And obviously I'm gonna also do it again, because it's just so incredible. And I'm curious to see at that point whether I'm gonna go through the struggle as well before I feel, or I can go straight to it because I'm gonna be more surrendered, right? So
I have a question. How do you experience love? With what sense?
That's a great question. In that experience, it was a vibration, basically. I don't know. It was just,
Did you think?
no, of course not. It was the end of thinking. Mm.
You don't think love. You feel love.
Yeah, but yes. Yes. And so again, it comes back to the point, I'm not meant to think. I think that's, or not in a strategy.
You're meant to think so that you organize your taxes, your house situation. For that, the brain is very important. Essential.
Yeah,
For
but
the other, we need brain. We need heart. Brain must take a second seat. So maybe if you get your brain working on so much paperwork, you can do the other thing with just your heart.
yes, and surrender to this whole experience. Don't fight it. Oh my God, I feel like it would be great if someone can just take all my notes and kind of create 20 books, because I have enough content for 20. 19 of those books would be about the fight.
I'm sure you will have a very, very successful writing career. And even you can make documentaries, which would be cool. But no, not now. Just right now, fix mumi.
Right now,
and
what?
write your note. Fix mumi and write notes. Don't start thinking of documentaries until you do.
Yeah, I think anyway, like I started writing on a book and working with someone on the book, and then I realized of course I can write something that's not, but it's not ready yet because I'm still in the middle of the process. Yeah. Okay. I will surrender to my bed.
Surrender. I'm here for you. Rest.
Thank you. Thank you. And
You're
thank
welcome.
you for making yourself so quickly available.
Anytime, my love.
Appreciate it.
Have a beautiful evening.
You too. Have a good afternoon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.